Hey everybody, welcome back. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm going to turn my phone down. Whew. It has been quite the day. How are you guys doing? George is in the car because he ran into going to pick Andrew up from school, ran into a car accident. And Andrew goes to school on an island where there's really only two ways off the island. So if there's an accident on that main road, he has to go like all the way around to the other island. So Evie is with me for a little while today. It has been quite the day. Thank you guys so much for being so awesome throughout this entire Spooktacular. I really and truly hope that you guys are having fun. We had so many good like story prompts. I was like, okay, some of these are coming from authors. I know they have to be because they were so very good. And maybe a few of you realized along the way as you were going to write one of those prompts that maybe you should write a book yourself. So hopefully that kind of inspired you to that. So we'll see. I am going to just sort of apologize a little bit in advance because not only do I have the baby and I can't write until she is here or till George is here to grab her, but also my sister went into a pretty complicated surgery at around 3 o'clock today. And you guys, most of you know that I have a very close relationship to my sister and I couldn't be there with her. I mean, she's in Georgia anyway, but normally I would have gone down to be with her. But because of COVID restrictions, nobody's really allowed in the hospital. Even her partner is not there and is just getting updates through. So if I am checking my phone, they said it's going to be 2 to 3 hour surgery. So I'm not expecting her to get out of surgery during the live, but I'm going to just kind of keep an eye on my phone just in case. So I'm just kind of apologizing for that a little bit in advance, but I know that you guys will understand. She is okay, but just other complications. And this is her second surgery. She's going to be in the hospital for probably about a week, but hopefully after that, we're going to be on the mend and on recovery. But I think that it has like the stress of her going into surgery and everything else that's going on between me finishing up the like edits on Fate's Surrender, as well as trying to get, it's like daily stuff for the Spooktacular. And then I'm also doing daily vlogs coming up for NaNoWriMo. So there's just a lot going on and I'm plotting my NaNoWriMo book. So I've been working kind of overtime. And I think that today is the first time because of the additional stress that I'm really kind of feeling it, So I tried to, did you see that big yawn? That big yawn is because she did not sleep at all today for her nap. So she's being a little bit docile, but if she had taken a nap, she wouldn't be so tired. But I actually was getting on and thinking, okay, I hope I'm going to be able to write the story. So it's just going to be, Debbie says, can you hold Evie up so we can see how big she's getting? Look at this big girl. She is so big and she's wearing her little jeans. She's just rocking some jeans today. Evie is going to be dressed up for Saturday's special Spooktacular Halloween announcement. So we will be doing, obviously we'll go live again on Friday like we always do. And then on Saturday, we are going to do a bonus live video on Halloween at 4 p.m. same time. And there's going to be a huge announcement, but I'm going to be somewhat in costume and Evie will also be in costume. I'm going to see if I can convince George and Andrew to put on some costumes, but we'll see if I get a chance to do that or not. Another kind of big announcement that some of you may have realized is that I was finally able to send out almost all of the past giveaways, book plates, everything. So I spent about 4 hours the other night going through and packaging up more than 100 giveaways and book plates. So it feels so good after months of taking time to get these things going that we finally have those book plates out, and all of the giveaways have been sent except for the things that are just gotten won. So I did send out some of the tarot card or one of the tarot card gifts and a few other things, but not everything is on the way, but most people's is on the way. If you got a book plate and you are overseas, I'm assuming it will be probably a week or two at at least before it comes to you. But it is super, super exciting that all of those things are sent out. And now, starting tomorrow, this will be US only, and I'm not going to show you because I like to tease you guys. But starting tomorrow, there's also going to be a special postcard that you guys will get to sign up for. So don't forget this. So we don't have a live video tomorrow. So keep your eye out for this. And I'm not going to show you what it looks like on the other side, but these will be signed postcards with a special design on them for celebrating the official 10-year anniversary of Beautiful Demons being published. So my publishing career starting off. So this is what I like to call my indie versary, because I am an indie author, and I will be sending out 250 of these. So that's going to be kind of the max. I don't know if I'll give them all out, but hopefully you guys will grab them. But if you want them and you are in the US, or I believe Puerto Rico also counts, then go ahead and sign up for this. There will be a Google form to fill out. I have a whole stack of them, and I do have more that I will be sending out on giveaway special basis. But to send even just a postcard overseas anywhere is still $1.20. And I just couldn't do like 200 of those right now. So we will maybe, like, if you win a book or anything else internationally, I will make sure to put these in with it. And everybody who just got like a book, not the posters, because those come in a tube, but everybody that just got a book or anything like that, including those of you who ordered a book plate, got one of these free postcards in your little package that I just sent out. So that is so exciting. Laura says, that's so kind, Sarah. You don't sleep, do you? Oh, I missed it. I do sleep. I sleep 8 hours a night, almost every night, sometimes 7 hours only, but I do actually sleep. And it is just going to be awesome to just, continue to build this community. I am telling you right now that when I first started this, I had no idea that we would still be going like 7 or 8 months later. But I just feel like, I don't know, it feels right. It feels like such an amazing community that has grown up here on YouTube. It feels like such a great family that we have built, not only just in the Coven, but also here on YouTube. And it means so much to me. And Rana said, can we have an email postcard? So the postcard, the design that goes on the postcard will also be available as a free download for you guys, for everybody that wants one. And it'll be a desktop wallpaper. So you definitely get a chance to get that. And that will be free for everybody. And there will be other giveaways going on continuing through Saturday. There are, I think the grand prize giveaway for 14 ebooks is ending maybe on the 30th at midnight. So make sure, if you haven't entered that you go over to sarracannon.com/blog, click on the blog link and enter the day one giveaway. So you just scroll down and find the day one grand prize, and you can enter that every single day. So many giveaways. So Dania said, how do I get a poster? So I have these 3 posters in the back right here, and those I've been giving away. So today's giveaway is actually 5 of the Bitter Demons posters. So that will be a chance. So Amanda said, what if we don't have a Twitter? So I know that Janet has been setting up some of the raffle copters and things like that, some of the giveaway things. And oh no, she said it wouldn't let me do it more than once. You should be able to enter that every single day. But the Twitter things hopefully shouldn't be mandatory, but she did stop doing the mandatory ones to make it to where all you had to do was either come to visit my Facebook page. So I'm not exactly sure what she made. If you don't have a Twitter, you should still be able to click on it and it will still count it for, oh no. So several people said I was only able to enter the first day. I know that that's the only one that I set up, and I specifically set it up to where people could enter every day. Y'all. It's been a lot of work. So there are just mistakes that will happen. So I apologize for that, because I specifically went to set it up. So Sarah said I can only enter daily with the Twitter share. Okay, well, I don't know. Rafflecopter is something that I haven't used in years, and it was the easiest way for me to do it without having to come back to the YouTube stream every single day and look through comments and stuff like that, which would have just been kind of too much work. So what I ended up doing was setting it up through Rafflecopter. What are you smiling about? Did that make you laugh? Something made her laugh. I don't know what she's grinning about. She's just enjoying hanging out, I guess. But yeah, either way, I don't know. I specifically clicked on the thing that said people could enter every day, but maybe that's only for Twitter or however Rafflecopter does it. So I apologize for that, but thank you for letting me know. So tomorrow is the official 10-year anniversary for Beautiful Demons. I am still trying to decide exactly what all I want to do, but I did treat myself to a pretty big purchase today, which is a brand new laptop. I have not gotten a new laptop. I've had the same laptop since 2016, and it's just a Chromebook. And I do love my Chromebook, but there's a lot of things that I can't do on my Chromebook, like I can't edit my videos and things like that on my Chromebook. So I instead purchased a laptop, and it is pink, you guys. And I am so excited about it. I have no idea with COVID shipping and stuff when it will be here, but my plan is to hopefully be able to do an unboxing for the new laptop during the NaNoWriMo diaries. So somebody said, what laptop did you get? So I got a Razer Blade Stealth 15, and I am so excited about it. It's amazing. JC Carpenter said, what's on your shirt? So it is it's a little wolf howling to the moon. I love this little shirt. Yes, it's not a MacBook. I do have a Mac here that I'm doing my webcam and everything on, and that is good. And I usually do all of my video editing on a Mac, which I enjoy, but I am kind of wanting to, with a laptop, I really want to get something that I can game on better with my family as well. So I wanted to get a PC laptop. So I probably will switch from doing my video editing on a Mac to doing my video editing in Adobe Premiere Pro up on my desktop or my laptop. So whenever that gets here, I will share it with you guys. If you are writers and you've been enjoying the lives and everything that's coming up or that we've been doing here, make sure that you follow my Heart Breathings channel, which is just youtube.com/heartbreathings. And I think there is a link to it down in the description box below. She's being so quiet and so sweet, probably because she's tired. Oh, I think Daddy's home. Yay. So we'll get to right here in a minute. So yay, he's here. Say bye-bye, everybody. We'll check back in with her when we are ready to go. So it will be fun. I think it did kind of look like Smurfs when you, I don't know. It's because it's the blue maybe. But if you follow my Heart Breathings channel, I won't be doing live videos, but I will be doing daily vlogs over there. And because of that, we're going to sort of pause our lives here to a degree. I will still be doing a Friday coffee chat, but we're not going to do Monday, Wednesday, because I don't think that I can handle editing and publishing one book, writing another book, doing daily videos and editing them, and doing 3 live a week. It's just too much. And I've kind of been getting to understand where my limits are this year. And I think that's going to hit a limit. So we will, on Friday, I will be announcing the next book that I'm reading to you guys. So this is the next, there's 2 big announcements coming. There's one coming on Friday and there's one coming on Saturday. So Friday, I will explain to you and give you all the details on the next book that I'm reading live and what our schedule will be coming up. But I do know for sure, and I can tell you guys right now, that November will only be Friday coffee chats for the entire month of November. And then the first week of December, we will be in Disney. So there will be no lives at all that entire week. So I will give you guys a full schedule and I will put it up on my blog too. So make sure, that you guys are checking that out. There may be a few extra things that go up, but if you feel like you're missing your time with me, there will be lots and lots of videos going on over on my Heart Breathings channel. So you will get your fill if you would like to actually hang out. So DF Tech Writer said, is Friday your actual indie-versary? So tomorrow is my indie-versary. October 29th was the day we finally hit publish on my very first book. And it was just such an exciting day. And I feel like tomorrow, I have some blog posts and giveaways going up, but I feel like tomorrow I'm going to go out to the beach for a walk. I think I'm going to try to pick out what my favorite restaurant is and get delivery from the restaurant. So I'm pretty excited about that. And maybe I'll also order or go out to Starbucks or something. I wish that I had my new laptop here already, because I would be like, there's a Starbucks that has an outdoor cafe where people can go and take their laptops. And so I was like, oh, it would just be so nice to get out and go writing for a little while. But alas, I don't have my new one yet. Maybe I'll just take my Chromebook out. So we'll have to see kind of what it is tomorrow, what the weather's like. But it's going to be a fun day. And I did just recently try to update, because it's hard when you have 10 years of data from all these different vendors to figure out what your total sales numbers are. And so I went because I wanted to go and check and see if I had hit this certain milestone. And I have actually surpassed the milestone of selling more than 750,000 books. So I have sold about 765,000 copies of my books, which means that you guys have supported this career for me. And when it comes to my free books, I have had over 2 million copies of my books published or downloaded when it comes to the free downloads. So Lisi said, I think it was October 25th, you said you'd published 27 books. So I have not published 27 books. I have published 25. Right now I've published 26 novels if you include The Witch's Key. So I'm at 26 novels. I have just put my 27th novel up for pre-order. And then I will be writing the 28th novel during NaNoWriMo. So that is going to be really, really fun. So lots of fun things. So it's going to be awesome. Tegan says it is the 29th here in Australia. So happy anniversary. So we can start celebrating now, which is so awesome. But yes, I really and truly never knew when I first started this whole thing if anybody would want to read my books. And it just means so much to me that you guys have been here for the entire journey, you know. And DF Tech Writer says, how many books did you write before publishing your first book? So in terms of full-length novels, before I published my first book, I wrote a novella, and it was like a romance heist novella, and that was about 25,000 words. So we could kind of count that as close to a novel size. I also wrote a book that I submitted to Harlequin that at the time I called The Millionaire's Secret Merger. It was like a fake engagement book. And I did finish that and submit it, but it never got picked up for publication. So those were my first two kind of like romances. I also wrote a book for NaNoWriMo all the way back in, I think, 2007 that I called Into Darkness. And I wrote 50,000 words of that book, but it never got an ending, but it was most of a novel. So I count that as a book because it was more than 50,000 words. And then I also wrote multiple short stories, and I wrote 100,000 word novel that I called Pandemic. Then, of course, I wrote Beautiful Demons and actually published that book. But fast forward to 2013, and I took that book Pandemic and put it into a new novel, like kind of broke it up and put it into a new novel of Death's Awakening. So that was a book that I wrote before Beautiful Demons, and it got kind of changed and really moved forward. So sorry, I'm trying to these comments are coming by so fast. Oh, Tracy's now published 18 books. Congratulations to Tracy. Yes, let's get it to 1 million. I agree, Kelly. I don't know how long it will take to get to 1 million, because I guess if you really think about 760,000 is about 76,000 books a year. So it's probably going to be, at least 4 years or so before I get, to that million number, but you never know. Maybe something will take off bigger in the meantime. So we will have to see. So Kelly said, can you self-publish those now, or can you not, since you had gone TradPub originally? So I never did go TradPub. I submitted to one publisher and they rejected the book. So I never did publish traditionally. And the other things never really got finished. So I could publish them now, but it's always one of those weird things. Like when I talk about this on my Heart Breathings channel, it's one of the hard things for authors is if you're multi-passionate and you want to write multiple genres, it's not always the best thing for your career to like publish. Like even publishing Fairhope for me, a lot of people said was a big mistake because it's so different from my young adult novels that a lot of people are like, oh, what are you doing? This is a terrible thing. And there's all kinds of like things that you guys don't, most of you as readers won't even care about, that if you're like publishing on Amazon, they have that list of books that say like, customers who bought this also bought this. And that is a very powerful tool for getting your books discovered by other readers. So when you publish things outside of your normal genre, then it can really kind of mess up Amazon's recommendations because they'll be recommending like my young adult books to people who usually read contemporary romances or opposite. So it's always one of those things of like, yes, I have that book, but is it worth it to publish it? I don't know. I will say this, that even though I enjoyed reading those types of books, like Millionaire Secret, Fake Engagement type books at the time, I didn't love writing that book. So I did love, however, writing the Fairhope series. And I have mentioned to you guys before that that series is getting all brand new covers. So those covers are actually being uploaded this week. They've already been published up on my website, so they should start showing up on the vendors. Also, as a quick update for those of you waiting for Fate Surrender to go on pre-order on Barnes & Noble, I have an identification number now there, and it says that it is publishing, so I'm hoping that means in the next day or two. They're taking so long, I heard, because there was like a data breach at Barnes & Noble and their servers went completely down. So it's just taking them a little bit of extra time, but it will come, you know, for future reference. It will be there before it publishes. So JC said, would you ever consider, if a traditional publisher sought you out now, letting them publish the Shadow Demons series? There are quite a few self-published authors who get trad-pubbed after. So I have actually had traditional publishers come after me. I never had someone come and say, we want to publish your demon series, but I've had publishers come to me and approach me, even some of the big 5 publishers come and say, we want you to write a series for us, but it just never is like the right thing for me, because when you do the whole trad pub thing, which there's no judgment in any way for people that want to do that. But I think that if you're going to be an author, you really have to take some time to think about what it is you really want to do and what type of career you really want for yourself. And for me, the thought of putting my book out there and like writing something and then it only gets published like a year and a half from now, and the pressure of them expecting a certain number of sales, and if you don't perform, they drop your series, and then they want to change all of your, like they want to make, you know, wide sweeping changes to your book. And because they, you know, are buying the rights from you, they get a lot more control over your book. And then you don't always know like how much money you made, and they only pay you twice a year. There's just so many things about traditional publishing that you have to give up so much control over your career that I just really didn't want to do that personally. I'm not saying I never will, but at least in the future, like I guess not in the future, but in the current time, I don't have any interest in traditional publishing. What I heard, I think it was Liliana Hart said years ago at a conference, what she said was, don't publish anything with a traditional publisher that you're not willing to just let it go, you know, like that, unless they're going to just give you so much money, you know, that you don't care what they do with it. Unless you're willing to just give up all control, don't do it, because you do have to give up so much of your own creative control, financial control. You can't put the book on sale. I could never give it away to you guys for free the way that I do now. So just for me, it's not the right thing. And For some people, it's really great. And for some people, it's not. So Nicola said, can you explain how to update covers on Kindles? So I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried this in a while, but I'm pretty sure what you need to do to update your cover on the Kindle, like if you wanted to update your Death's Awakening one, is you have to go into your Amazon account and click on Manage My Devices. It's either Manage My Device or Manage My Library, something like that. And then you can go in and actually see all of your ebooks. And when you find the list of ebooks, you should be able to go into the one that you want to update and tell it that you want it to update, and it will update the book at that point. So I know that sounds a little bit complicated, but I think it's called manage my content and devices. Thank you. I could not figure out that word content, but yeah, the content for manage my content and devices. So I think it's better if you can do it on a desktop and go into your Amazon account. And when you go to your account drop down, that will be one of the options, manage my content and devices. And then when you manage your content, you can go to ebooks and then tell it usually will have a little thing that says beside it that you can update the book. So you click on that and it should update or force update. If you can't get it to work, you can email customer service and say, I need to get these books updated because I want the new covers, and they will do that too. But I just know it can take time for them to answer it. So, but I will just say this, since we're on the topic, before we get to reading the new, news story that I will write live on the air, that when it comes to traditional publishing, if you are an author and you're watching this, just know that it's really it's nobody else's place to tell you what's best for you. So when you start thinking about what is the right thing for you and for your career and for your family, take everybody else out of the equation and stop and think about, what is the career that I want? If I listened to everybody who told me, well, that's a bad idea, you shouldn't do this, you're ruining your career, you should never do this. Like, people told me, don't do a YouTube channel, you're going to waste too much time on it. People told me, don't serialize a story, don't offer things for free, don't put that book at 99 cents. And I had, throughout the last 10 years of my life, I've had a ton of people giving me advice. Don't go indie because you're going to ruin your whole career. Nobody will ever, how will you ever know you're any good? Nobody will buy your books. I've had people say, don't write young adult. You can't make any money. Nobody reads young adult books. I've had people say to me, you'll never be anything unless you're in a bookstore. Like, just anything you can imagine. Don't talk about your planners because people don't want to hear about that. People love to hear about planners because it is fun to talk about planners. And I'm not really allowed to talk about what's inside of it, but I just got this gigantic box to the point where George walked down the stairs and he went, holy, what? Because it's this huge box that I just got from Erin Condren for their, I can't say what it is, but it's a box that I'm going to be doing a review about. But yeah, I mean, people will tell you all kinds of things. Don't do this. Don't talk about this. Don't show up this way. Don't write this. Don't go follow this path. And even me, sometimes you'll hear me say, don't do Kindle Unlimited, or don't do, don't go traditional publishing if this, and this. But in the end, nobody else is living your life. It's you. This is your life, your path. How do you see your life going forward? I mean, some people might tell you, don't move to that city. Don't wear those clothes. Don't talk to those people. But in the end, it really is your life. And if we live our lives according to the expectations and the plans that other people have for our lives, we're going to miss out on what we were put here to do. So definitely, when you think about your publishing path, if you are an author here and you're watching this, do what you want to do. Do what's right for you. Follow the path that you think is most likely to lead you to the life you most want to have. For some people, having that book on a bookshelf in a Barnes and Noble is the most important thing. And not having to do all your own marketing and figure out all the business side of things and keep track of your sales, that's the right way to do it for some people, because they want to just be able to write and move forward. For other people, we want full control, and there's really no right or wrong path. It's just what is right for you as an individual. And, so I've talked about this before with my RWA group back in Raleigh when I lived there, that every single person that I talked to in that group, when I said, I think I'm going to self-publish, was like, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. And of course, back in 2010, very few people were doing it because nobody believed you could make any money. Nobody believed that anyone who was any good was self-publishing, and that you needed a publisher to validate your existence as an author. Like, you're not a real author. And even today, 10 years later, I will hear people say like, so you're not a real author, or those aren't real books because they're not published by a traditional publisher. And you have to just kind of brush your shoulders off and say, well, I've sold 750,000 books. So you can call them real books or you can call them fake books, but it's still books, it's still readers. So in the end, you have to put on a thick skin, and you have to say, I am going to follow my own path, and I'm going to do what's right for me. And then I'm going to surround myself with the kind of people that support me rather than the kind of people who constantly tear me down. And, this is a super important message to follow. So I see such nice things coming out here. So Mystic says, you're the reason I'm sitting at my day job, listening to you on my iPad, planning how I'm going to live my dreams. And I totally 100% believe in you. I know it's going to happen. So you're not a real author. I know. And, those kinds of things used to really, really bother me when people would say things like, oh, those aren't real books, or you're not a real author. One of the things people will say to me a lot now is like, oh, have I heard of any of your books? And it's always like, well, probably not, or you would have known who I am. Or they'll say, who's your publisher? And I'll say, oh, I'm my own publisher. And a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because they just don't understand. But in the end, you have to say, none of that really matters, because my book was also like top 10 on Apple this week. And I feel like that is enough of a validation to keep me going. So you have to kind of just think of what is most important to you and just let everybody else go, because, Nelson Mandela, one of my favorite quotes from Nelson Mandela is, it always seems impossible until it's done. And that is so applicable to all of your dreams and all the things you want to do. It's like, I can clearly see the things in the future that I really want for my life, including having a movie deal or a TV deal someday, going to Comic-Cons and having like people lined up to have me sign a book. Like, this has never happened to me. I have done book signings before where people were in line to buy my books, but only for a brief moment. I never had like a Cassandra Clare like line down the street, but I've had like maybe 3 or 4 people waiting in line, which still felt like a really big deal to me. But, I have this dream of maybe someday having that with like a line down the street of people wanting to buy my books. And that feels impossible, right? But like, it happens to people. Cassandra Clare, that's her everyday life when she goes out to go writing, and of course, or to sign books. And of course, she has a big traditional publisher, but that doesn't mean that you can't still have that life or that kind of career without a traditional publisher. So I think that it feels impossible, but you take it one step at a time. You believe in yourself. You look and you see that vision for your own future, and you hold it dear to your heart, and you just keep taking one tiny baby step at a time until you get there. And then someday it's done, and you're like, oh my gosh, here I am sitting at the like Hollywood red carpet for my hit TV show. And that is going to be my life someday, and it is going to happen, whether it will be the Shadow Demon saga or something new that I will write. I do 100% believe in it. And so I'm going to just keep trucking until that happens. So Brandy, I never thought I would want to be an indie author, but you've changed that for me. I'm so scared to do it, but I will never know if I'm be successful until I do it. And you know what? That brings up another thought. And I know we are going to write some stuff today, but that does bring up another thought to me, which is, so often I think that we don't do the things that scare us most because we're afraid of what other people will think. So if we say, I really want to have a movie deal or a TV deal. My own self-consciousness says, don't tell people that, because then if it never happens, they're going to look at you and they're going to be like, oh, she thought she could have this and she's so stupid, and look at her and she doesn't deserve that, or whatever. But it's like, why would you not go after your goals or claim what you really want truly in your life because you're afraid of somebody who doesn't support you anyway saying negative things about you if you don't hit it? In the end, those people won't be talking about you at all because they're not even, first of all, they're not even, like they say, in the arena. They're not even trying. They're not even putting themselves out there. They're just sitting on their couch going, well, she doesn't deserve that. She's never going to have a TV deal. Like, whoever these people are that like have the 3 thumbs down almost every single 3 times a week, that's a person sitting on their couch going, she doesn't deserve this. Who does she think she is? I heard that a lot growing up. Just who do you think you are, young lady? That kind of thing. And, in the end, it's like those people, they have nothing to say about what your success is, whether you made it or you didn't make it, because they're not even out there trying to make anything happen. And if you put yourself out there and you say, I'm going to be an author, I'm going to get a TV deal, I'm going to get a publishing deal, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and put my face on basically television, you're going to fail at some things. When I first decided that I was going to do a live video here with you guys, I thought, what if only 5 people show up? And people, I've announced it everywhere, and 5 people show up. And what if these imaginary other people who are watching me say, oh, well, look at her. She said she was going to do this thing and read this story and nobody showed up. She's ridiculous, or she's stupid, or look at her. Who does she think she is? And that totally could have happened, right? I mean, when I first published my first YouTube channel here on my Heart Breathings channel, I thought, well, what if other authors look at me and they think, who is she to be putting this content out there? Like, you can see all your own flaws. You can see that you're just using a webcam and like you don't have the most professional equipment or any of that stuff. And, the first few videos I had like maybe 5 or 10 people were watching them for a while. And I just thought, well, I know I've got something good to say and I believe in this and this is something I want to do. So I'm going to have fun with it and I'm going to do it. And it led to now, by the end of this year, I think I'll have 40,000 subscribers. That is what I'm putting on my wall, is I'm going to have close to 40,000 subscribers in 2 years. And if I hadn't been willing to fail and I hadn't been willing to push past those few days or weeks or months, I mean, it took me months to get to 1,000. And now I have gotten, I think, what is it, like over 1,500, 1,600 subscribers this month alone. So it's like, but it took me 6 months to get there in the first place, right? But if I had said to myself, oh my gosh, I've only got 500 views, or I've only got 5 views on this video, I'm terrible. And if we had started this and only 5 people showed up, like, this is why I love my husband, because he says those would be 5 lucky people. But it's like, even if only 5 people showed up, or I put out a brand new book and only 10 people bought it, then it doesn't mean that I'm a failure and my story is over unless I just quit. So the best way is to keep following your heart, follow the fun, follow the joy, the things that seem cool to you. Like, when I first decided to self-publish, it was because I wanted to tell the stories I most wanted to tell. I didn't want an agent or an editor out there telling me, you can't do this. This is not the right story. We don't believe in this story. Why don't you write vampires instead? Or what, nobody's buying vampires. You need to write this other thing. And, constantly having to reinvent yourself for someone else's expectations. And it's like, I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to just write stories that I loved. And so I followed my own joy and my own fun. And I did the same thing when I started my YouTube channel for Heart Breathings, that I followed what was fun for me. Don't talk about your planners. Well, I'm going to talk about my planners anyway, because planners are super fun and I'm going to do it. And then when I decided to start this, I thought, oh my gosh, people are going to be so mad at me for not writing the next Demons book and for working on this new thing, The Witch's Key, instead. But it sounds fun to me and I really need it right now. And I think it'll be fun for everybody else. And I just took that leap of faith and here you guys are. Like, it's just 100% push yourself past the point of fear and believe in yourself, because there are going to be failures along the way. There are going to be days where it's like, oh my gosh, only this many people showed up. Or, somebody sent me a message and they said they didn't like the way I'm wearing my hair these days, or that, yes, I've gained too much weight after the baby. Like, I get messages like that, but I can't let that stop me, because this is who I was put on the earth to be, And I believe that every single person watching this live right now and on the replay, you are also here to follow your own joy, to be free, and to be the person that you believe you were meant to be. And don't let anybody hold you back from doing the things that you're capable of, and for doing the things that really bring you the most joy, just because they're going to say bad things about you. Don't be afraid of that. Let the people hate. It's, I think it's Cat Williams has this whole skit about how, of course he uses very colorful language, but I still think he's hilarious. But he says things like, if you got 5 haters, you better have 10 before summer starts, something like that. And I just absolutely love him, and some of his skits about that stuff is like, you should be wanting haters, because the more haters you have, it means the more impact that you have. So don't be afraid of what other people are going to say about you. You will get bad reviews. I'm going to use kind of a bad word right now. So just like shield children, put me on mute. It's not the worst book, but it's just a little bit of a worse book. There is a review, and I'm not sure which book it's on. I think it might be on book 3 or 4, where somebody leaves a review and says Harper is such a twat. And that review always makes me laugh so much, not because it's a nice thing to say, but just because it's like, oh my gosh, people can be so mean. And I used to get so affected by the reviews, with people saying, like, I have a review on book 7 of the Demon series where somebody says oh no, they didn't leave a review. They sent me a private email, which was so much more fun, that said something along the lines of, it's obvious you're not writing these books anymore. And that you've hired ghostwriters, and you were a terrible author anyway, and I'm never going to read your books again. It was just like a really, really mean email. And this was coming on the heels of me not having written for a while and trying a new thing with, writing 4 points of view, because for those of you that are new to the Shadow Demon saga, you just get Harper's point of view for those first 6 books. Then when you start book 7, you go to 4 points of view. And I will tell you, I've mentioned it kind of before, but so it's not too spoilery, I will tell you 2 of those points of view are Harper and Jackson. So you start to get Jackson's point of view, as well as 2 more people. So I split into 4 points of view, and I knew it was risky, and I knew that there would be some people that didn't like it. But it was the way the story needed to be told, because the series gets so big that I could no longer tell the story the way it needed to be by just being in one point of view, because then the only thing we could know about the world is what Harper knows. And I needed to be able to show what's going on outside of Harper. And I knew it was going to be a risk. And so it was really kind of nervous and nerve-wracking to almost immedately get a message from somebody that's like, it's so obvious where you're going with this. She accused me of being like hiring ghostwriters, and that I could never write anyway. And then she said that the only reason I was continuing the series was because I was trying to just make a bunch of money off of my fans and stuff like that. But in the end, you're gonna, like, if you publish, just be aware that you're gonna get that. And if you do get it, it means that you're actually reaching people. So, if you get 0 criticism, then it means you aren't even putting yourself out there. So, just a little point right there. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Debbie says, I liked the multiple POV in book 7. It was a change, but I never felt like you hadn't written it. So yeah, it's pretty funny. So anyway, I was just kind of looking through, and some people do thrive on it, and some people are jealous. Some people are going through difficult things, and sometimes people just genuinely don't like what you create. Jennifer, I didn't mean to scare you. She's shaking in my boots. It doesn't, like, the one thing I do when I get nervous about reviews and stuff like that, go and seriously go pick your very best books, the books you loved more than anything, that you felt were like works of art, your favorite book of all time, and go to Goodreads or Amazon and read the reviews. Click on the 1-star reviews, and you will see that even like the books that you think are the greatest books of all time will have thousands of people that have said it was the worst book, doesn't, who is this author? They're terrible. And you will see that. And it happens to everybody. So yeah, haters gonna hate. So it's 44 minutes and I've just been running my mouth. I am gonna check really quickly to make sure I haven't gotten a message about my sister. If you didn't hear at the beginning, my sister went into surgery now about an hour and 45 minutes ago, and it's a pretty complicated surgery. She had to get to a specialist outside of her normal town to, oh, there is a message. Nope, it's spam. Raise your hand if you're getting, I'm getting this thing that just says spam detected, because it's literally so much political ads. And I just, thank goodness I don't have to look at them. But anyway, also thank you to whoever it was that told me that Samsung has all these Hello Kitty, I don't know if you can't really see it. Samsung has a bunch of Hello Kitty, oh, you can see it sideways, themes, and I literally went and bought like 4 of them. So I'm going to change it out like every day between now and and Halloween. So all right, so let me pull this up. So today is day 10. Oh, Angela says the same thing. My phone tells me potential spam. Yeah, it's been so many like potential spam, spam and blocked, and I'm just like, well, I'm looking forward to this election season being over so I can check my phone again without getting spam. All right. So we've got about 15 minutes before, and I am going to, before we're done for the day, thank you for letting me just go off on a tangent, because I feel like I have my energy back, because I'm so passionate about helping people follow your dreams and really getting that message across that it's really your life. Don't live it according to other people's expectations or being afraid that other people are going to judge you, because they will judge you. Other people will judge you. It's just the way the world lives, the way the world is. But you will also find your people along the way, and the people that support you and love you. And that is so much worth it, right? So this is our green door. And I'm so excited to see Kelly here, because Kelly, I have picked your prompt. So this is Kelly's prompt. A young girl mindlessly walking home from school, as she does every day, takes a turn down the wrong road. She glances up and realizes she doesn't recognize where she is. So she turns around to retrace her steps when she notices a door half covered by vines of lush green ivy. Kelly, this is just so good. Curiosity getting the best of her, she steps up to the door and notices several padlocks running down the door. I wonder, she thinks, are these to keep people out or to keep something in? She peers through a small heart-shaped peephole and gasps as her heart starts thundering in her chest. So, Kelly, thank you for this. And thank you to everybody who included a prompt over on social media, because they were so good and it was so hard to choose. And one of the reasons that I chose this one is just because I love this concept of, is it going to keep people out or is it to keep people in? And it immediately sparked my imagination. So 2 things before we get started, because I'm going to have to stop screen sharing. And I'm going to screen share with the tab that has the Google Doc on it. Hopefully that worked. Okay, so now we have the green door. And I am going to do my best. Now I am at an angle, so my desk is actually this way. So I'm going to do my best to type underneath my desk from the corner. Also, for those of you that noticed that my nails were coming off the other day, I put on just regular black nails. These are static nails, and they're a little bit long for typing. So you guys are going to see some typos coming out. So just ignore it. You're going to see me backtrack quite a bit. So I loved this prompt, Kelly. I think it is so, so good. And I wanted to use it. I immediately was like, that's the one. That's the one. So thank you very much for that. And I would like to send you just a little bit of something as well, as a thank you for submitting yours. So send me an email with, I don't know if I've sent you something before, but just as a reminder, send me an email, Kelly, with your address, and I'm going to send you a little bit of a surprise after today. So yeah, ignore typos. And I have a tendency to want to like peck when it comes to the backspace. So we're going to, I was thinking I probably should have turned on some music too, to kind of get through the reading of it. I've never done this before where I've written live. So I'm like, do I read it as I'm typing it? I don't really know how this works. Maybe I should have just found some like cafe music to play while I was going. But if I cannot get my arm to work right with this screen turned sideways, we're just going to turn the screen and you guys are going to see my mess of the desk that is not decorated, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to type underneath the desk like this, but we'll see how it goes. So somebody asked, what screen share app are you using? So I am using StreamYard, which is a streaming. So I'm not live on YouTube directly. I'm live through StreamYard, and it is actually free to use, and you can share your screen through that. So I am just sharing my Google Doc. So I'm going to go over here to Google Docs, and I am going to turn this one into a title. It's going to look a little bit big, but hopefully you guys can read it. If I need to, I can bring the font size up a little bit, but this will be how it looks. All right, so I am going to name our heroine Kelly, since we'll name her after Kelly for giving us this awesome story. So we will just stay flexible here. So I'm going to kind of take Kelly's prompt. I've written down just a couple little notes about what she said. So I'm going to, let's see, should we do it in first person or third person? I guess we'll do it in first person because I think that'll read better. We'll see. We'll see. Oh gosh, I keep thinking about it in third person though. All right. Give me some votes. What do you think? Does anybody have a feeling about first person or third person? Because I could say like what Kelly's thinking or just what I. So I see people saying first. Okay, so we'll do first person. All right. So this is Kelly, our heroine Kelly. And I'm going to tab down one more. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm a little bit nervous. All right. Let me do a little bit of, we'll start with some italics. So I was thinking, this is where I go backspace. So I was thinking that it would be kind of interesting to start with a thought of very similar to the tropes and things that I was talking about before, that I always feel like I like doing the outcast girl, like the girl that doesn't fit in. So I don't know if I can talk through this or if I'm just going to, I should have brought up some music. Actually, maybe I still can, because I do have some music from Epidemic Sound that I can use here without having to pay for it. So let me see if I can find my iTunes. And then I can turn some music on while I write it, because I don't know that if I can talk while I'm writing. We're going to see how it goes. No. All right, bear with me, you guys. Start listening. Of course, my Mac just recently updated, so let's see. I would have to find, oh no, I can't find something that I purchased from Epidemic Sound. It might take me too long to find it. You guys know oh well, I'm going to leave the music out of it. I could play my Heart Breathings theme song, which would make everybody laugh, but I don't think it'll fit. All right, so I'll never fit in with those girls, and I'm just going to type, and then I'll kind of explain it because I don't think I can type at the same time. Hear the ASMR of me typing. You'll also get to see Google suggesting things to me. No, that's how I wanted to say it, Google. Backspace. I also didn't put my glasses on. What'll be funny is like I'll end up typing and then it'll be like 5:30 and you guys will be like, whoa, did she forget that we were here? Because I just started writing. Okay, I must have gotten turned around somewhere along the way. I didn't recognize the street. So I don't know, maybe I should read it as I write it. So I'll never fit in with those girls. I had such a terrible day at school today, and I feel like I can hardly keep my head on straight. Why were they always so mean to me? It was that Jocelyn's fault. She was the leader of that group, and she could never say a single nice word to anyone who wasn't in her crew. I walked home the way I always did, but since I was still pretty new to this town, I must have gotten turned around somewhere along the way. I didn't recognize this street. So we'll say I backtracked a little ways, but it didn't seem to help. I kept passing the same strange wall with the lush green ivy. Only this time, when I turned around, something caught my eye. Door. Surely that wasn't here before. I stepped closer, intrigued. Hopefully I don't misspell too many things. Intrigued by the glint of sunlight off the row of padlocks down the side of the door. Door tucked into the wall was a bright green that almost faded into the ivy itself. There in the center is a small heart-shaped hole. My heart beat faster as I stepped toward it. I knew I should keep walking. Someone surely lived here. They wouldn't want to see a young girl snooping on their property. I don't know if you'd say on their property or what. But for some reason, I simply couldn't help myself. I felt drawn to the place, almost as if there was an invisible string pulling me toward it. I had to stand on tiptoes to see through the small hole. And as I lifted myself up, I could practically feel my heart beating in my chest. Let me double check that you guys can see all the way down this far. Oh, you can. All right, so let me know. So I can't see you guys when I'm already turned. So don't type, just talk to us and take notes. Let me know if this is working for you guys for me to say it. I might end up having to continue it on Friday because we're getting so late. But I will get to a dun 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 moment for sure. So I could practically feel my heart beating in my chest. There was something about this door. I swear I'd walked by here several times and it hadn't been there. The fact that it appeared just now made me certain it was there for me in some strange way. I swallowed and looked through the heart-shaped hole. I don't know what I expected to see on the other side. A courtyard, maybe, with a fountain, or the steps into a small house or apartment. But what I saw instead made me gasp and stumble backward. There, in a patch of green grass and sunlight, Jocelyn. She was surrounded by all the girls at school who seemed, it corrected me. Yay, Google, who seemed to worship her. And they were all, hey, Google, stop. I said something about Google and it woke up. She was surrounded by all the girls at school who seemed to worship her, and they were all huddled around something in the center of the grass. Strangely, even though we'd only been out of school for about 20 minutes, none of the girls were wearing their uniforms. Let's see. Pull it up a little bit. Is this where Jocelyn lived? I hadn't realized she lived so close to me. But it didn't come as a surprise that she was wealthy and lived in what had to be a pretty large estate behind this wall. Stayed stretched up on tiptoe as I watched, but my foot slipped and I let out a little cry. Immediately, I brought my hand to my mouth and backed away. And please don't let them have hurt me. Waited for almost a full minute. And I told myself I should leave. These girls already didn't like me. They surely wouldn't want me snooping on their private get-together party. I don't know. I couldn't help myself. I had to know what they were doing here. All right. So we have a little bit of a story. I'm going to come back and check on the comments here. So far she's seeing these girls, and I know we're going over the hour, but I'm going to just bring us to a little bit of a stopping point, and then we will finish this on Friday because I think it'll be kind of fun. Kelly said something. I 100% give you permission to use this for a future book. So I have an idea of where this is going, because I kind of had it immediately when I read this. I knew sort of what was going to happen, but I'm not going to have time to fully write it. but I am going to bring us to a dun, dun, dun moment. So I had to know what they were doing here. I took small steps, my heart, to use Kelly's words, thundering in my chest. Deep in my intuition, my inner knowing, something like that. A part of me knew that if I looked through that door again, my life might never be the same. Something here was not right, but I couldn't put words to it or explain it. It was just a door, right? I ignored my fears and lifted up to see through a heart-shaped hole one more time. This time, the girls were gone. Instead of a grassy area, this time, oh, what do I call it? Like the interior of the wall. This time, the scene inside, or the scene beyond the doorway, is dark and twisted. Nighttime forest full of shadows. I squinted through the darkness, trying to see more. But just as I looked to the side, a face appeared before me. Eyes glowed through the darkness. Oh, I stood mesmerized. This is how you spell that. Unable to move as the eyes turned toward me. All right. Me. All right. So I'm going to leave it here. Sometimes when I finish my own books, I'll put an XX and then I'll put like a little, start with her leaving kind of notice to myself, like, okay, this is where I'm leaving off. So I am going to leave it there. Let me know if you guys thought this was fun. If you think I should finish it off screen and just share it in the coven or on my blog tomorrow. If you guys want to actually see the rest of the story being written on Friday, so comment and let me know which one. I also am going to stop sharing for just a second and go back and share the slides, because this is a pretty big announcement today, next week on the Green Door. I'm so glad that you guys enjoy that, because I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to be any good, but I do have some ideas. So I saw Kelly say, full disclosure, what I pictured behind the door, I don't know why this light got so bright all of a sudden. When I wrote my prompt was a sleeping dragon or several small dragons. I have no clue why, but it popped into my head. So maybe we'll have to write some dragons in before. But yes, I would like to keep doing it, but let me know if you guys want me to finish it on Friday. I do see a lot of people saying, yes, finish it on Friday. I do know that kind of where this is going to go. Kind of, but not 100%. I wasn't expecting a dark forest, but sometimes when you're writing, you have to just let it come out the way that it comes out. And you have to not judge yourself too much, which is what is fun about the upcoming NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month, because you have to turn off that inner editor. So just to let you guys know, just word count wise. So let me pull up tools and go to word count. So that was 685 words that we just wrote there together. So it'll be kind of fun. Yeah, she's still awake. So I'm going to share my screen now with the slides that we were just looking at before. And You guys have already seen throughout the course of the Spooktacular, we are already on day 10 of 13. So we only have 3 days left. Tomorrow is the 10-year anniversary. I am going to be doing a lot of just fun kind of self-care celebration stuff for myself, but I am also going to, like I said, have a form that you guys can fill out where you can sign up to get one of these free postcards mailed to you. So it's 685 words. So you can get one of those mailed to you. There will also be some other giveaways that will be coming tomorrow, some special things. So make sure you check my blog and make sure that you're checking social media, because I'm not going to post here specifically tomorrow, other than maybe just like something on the community tab, but there won't be a video here, but we will be live on Friday. But throughout the course of this, I have already shown you guys, I think 5 pieces of this cover. So now you are going to get the next piece of the cover, and this will definitely tell you definitively which book it is, because it has piece of the title on it. So I know many of you have already guessed, but here we go. This is the next piece of the cover that will be fully revealed. So you guys have gotten 4 pieces so far. So this is piece number 5. So I have it in 6 total pieces. So thank you, Angela. So you've seen 4. So this is piece number 5. You will see piece number 6 on Friday. And then on Saturday, I'm going to reveal the entire cover all at once. So definitely you can see from the words there what it is in terms of, I'll just bring it up and get rid of me for just a second. You can see what it is in terms of which book it is. And I am so excited because I've got some pretty big announcements coming on Saturday, not just about this book, but about the entire series as well. So lots of fun things. This has been so much fun to do. And I think that I really am just like living on the excitement right now of all the fun things that we've been doing together. Thank you guys for being a part of this celebration. Just all told, the entire 13 days, the entire year of 2020. Thank you for being a bright light in my life, and for the entire last 10 years of my life. Even if you're somewhat new to my books, I know from recognizing some of the names here that you guys have been a part of my career and my family for, you know, many of you 5 years or more. So thank you all so much for that. I love you guys. I hope that you're having fun with the Spooktacular stuff. If you if you get a chance, please come and join me in the Coven tomorrow. I probably will be doing a special, just a special little live over there or on Facebook instead of just on or just here on YouTube. But I just want to give a little extra thank you tomorrow. And then Friday, you guys will get the upcoming book that I will be reading next, as well as the full schedule for the rest of this year and the beginning of 2021. So lots of fun announcements yet to come, and I cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Sorry we didn't get to more of the little story yet today, but we will get to more of it on Friday, and I will see you guys then. Evie, you want to say bye? You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye. You guys didn't get to see Andrew, but we'll see him on Friday. All right. Bye.
Bye.